In today's video, we are going to discuss about how to find different sources other than Alibaba, other than 1688 to find the suppliers. So the first source is trade shows. Let's share the screen and discuss this part. Here is the website 10 times, and it is very helpful and very useful as well when it comes to find all the events happening all around the world. That can be African countries. You can see here Canada, Turkey, North America, European side, India, the Gulf side, the Asian side, the African side. So it's a very comprehensive website to find out the trade shows. Now, what is the plan here, or what is the theme concept behind all this? The main suppliers, the giant ones, majority of them, or I would say a good chunk of them, is not available on Alibaba 1688. So how do they basically acquire business? Because their target is to find serious clients and customers. They usually, and they are big enough to spend the money to buy the booth at the trade shows and to travel to that particular country, exhibit their products and close the deal with the giant clients. So the majority factories which are giant, which are big enough, and which are actual factories, not the traders or not the wholesalers, all of them, they do attend the expos, they do attend the events. So the plan here is to identify what can be other option, like Alibaba is one option, 1688 is the second option, and definitely the third straightforward option is to fly to China, visit the factories physically, and close the deal. We all know that's one of the best thing. But here the agenda or the plan or the theme behind it was, what can be the ways to find out the actual suppliers, the actual manufacturers, by sitting remotely. So that idea went through to the event part, that all the suppliers do attend the events, they do attend the exhibitions in all the uh, their target countries, like let's say European countries, North American, or even Australia, Canada, Asian countries, whatever is the target country. So if we figure out a list of those suppliers who are doing the exhibition or who are participating at the exhibition, and fetch out their details, then that can be a chance to find out the right supplier, which is kind of hard to find for any other person as well, because 95% people go to Alibaba straight away. And at the other time, which can give you kind of some amazing rates, and more than that, some amazing quality, because those manufacturers are specialized towards that particular niche, or sometimes towards that particular product. Because you may find some factories which only manufacture stress ball, nothing else. Now definitely there can be 300 varieties of stress ball, but they are very specialized in manufacturing stress ball. Then there's a factory, there can be a manufacturer with a broader layer, which can be manufacturing toys with plastic or TPR, and then or the fidget toys particularly. And then there can be some supplier at a more broader level, which are focused in toys overall, like the plush toys and other toys overall. And then there would be traders, which are importer and exporter as well, which do deal with the toys, but that can be wooden toys, stainless steel toys, even electronic toys, because they are not the direct manufacturers. So that's the whole theme behind it. And we do find some great suppliers with this approach. Sometimes they are available on Alibaba, then we can go and contact them through Alibaba. Now definitely we can also find those suppliers through Alibaba, but we need to go through maybe hundreds of different suppliers and check out them to figure out one such kind of supplier. And if we take this route, the route of events, and see if the supplier is on Alibaba, then the hassle is very much reduced. The hassle to find the supplier is very low. And in other cases, you will find some suppliers through this event approach which are not available on Alibaba. So that gives you a plus point in finding a supplier, which is kind of, but it's also a moat. It's also something you are figuring out, or you are contacting a supplier which is very much specialized in your niche, but is not really readily accessible to all of your Amazon competitors. Now, definitely that supplier would have been working with some great clients and all that stuff, but around 95% Amazon sellers have the route to go through Alibaba. So that gives you a comparative advantage here. With all this, let's jump onto the screen and open the website. So here is how it looks like. 10 times you can search for topics, events, or locations. You can also browse by category like education and training, medical and pharma. And you can combine two keywords as well. For example, let's say I'm going to type here stress toys. Definitely, the events are never that much super specific. Like there won't be a dedicated event for squishy stress toys, and events are always for the whole niche or the micro niche or the category. And there from that particular event or from that particular exhibition, you need to filter out the exhibitors and to see if you find any exhibitor which is relevant to your desired products. So I'm going to type here stress toys in USA, and the plan here is to find those suppliers which do have the access to the USA or the North America market, or the suppliers or the manufacturers which have participated in the exhibitions for toys particularly held in the USA. So that gives us an idea that those suppliers do have the export license, because it's quite possible that in the events you can find some suppliers which are dedicated for the export in the European country or maybe in the African country. So by this thing, you know that the supplier do have the idea of the quality people are inclined to buy in the USA market, and they do have access to the clients of that market. So it makes things a lot of easy. And as we all know, being an Amazon seller, not every seller has that kind of money muscle uh, to buy the containers. So if you know that that particular supplier is already exporting to the United States, then adjusting your shipment can also be possible for that supplier. But let's say if that supplier is shipping all of its inventory to Malaysia, and you are asking him to export to USA, and then your order is not full length of container, but it's kind of a small chunk of that, then it can be hard for the supplier to proceed with that part, or even to consider you particularly. So that can be a challenge here in some cases, in some rare cases. And it's always wise to search for keyword plus the destination or location. If you don't have any idea about a particular location, then sometimes you can have a precedence in mind. For example, we know that the quality, Germans are pretty much concerned about the quality, so we can also type stress toys in Germany. Now what it's going to do, let's exclude those minor points which I discussed just recently about the export issues and all. Let's exclude that. Let's say we sort all these things with the help of freight forwarders. But then again, if you type stress toys in Germany, then it's going to show up those suppliers which have participated in the exhibitions held in Germany. So you know their quality is going to be very great. So that's the scenario. That's the core idea or reason behind it. Okay, so if I see here, you can see the hashtag stress toys. You can see the hashtag USA, and you can scroll down to different exhibitions if those are happening. If those are going to held, I would say in the future. Sports licensing, temple, bridal show is not relevant. So let's refine the research here. Let me type toys in United States. You can see we can select this thing as well, sports and goods and toys, the option which was being shown here. Okay, so here are the Greenberg Great Train and Toy Show, Christmas and gift shows in USA. Mm, and then Panama City Beach gift show. Okay. The collectible toy show in Medina, train and toy show. So you can see different kind of options here. You can also utilize the auto fill option in the search bar. Like I have mentioned here, Unite toys in United, and I was going to fill up these states. But then you can see all the options here: sporting goods, toys and games, events in USA. Even UK is fine as well. USA is fine as well. So you can also find some of the exhibitions here in this particular scenario as well. So let's say here is one of the trade show which we want to proceed further with, or we want to check out. Like let's say it has mentioned the toys and games, and it is being held in the USA. Here we see the name of the trade show, and then here is the list of exhibitors. Sometime it shows up here, sometime it doesn't, and in other cases we need to explore the website of this trade show to figure out the list of exhibitors. So here is the official link, and I'm clicking here on the website. So there's been some issue with the website of this trade show, but if we go to another trade show, here is the same picture being shown here, and you can see in the list of exhibitors, all the exhibitors are being shown clearly. And even if those exhibitors are not visible here, you can go to the about section, and then you can check out their website and go there simply to figure out the list of exhibitors. Every trade show has a dedicated website. Every trade show has a section to find exhibitors on their website. The route basically can be different. For example, one website can show the exhibitors under the third tab, some can show under the fifth tab, some for some you can simply search the list of exhibitors. So every website of trade show does have the list of exhibitors, but here for the sake of discussion, it also has on the 10 time websites, this particular trade show has the list of exhibitors eligible. And you can always, when I tell you to search for USA or Germany, that's one of the probability. You can also search for simple trade shows in China's as well, because we know that many sellers or many international sellers do visit China for the trade shows as well, and there are some giant factories which only restrict to exhibiting their products in the Chinese trade show. So you can always go through that as well. The intent was to let you know different possibilities and probabilities to search for the trade shows. So here I've gone to the exhibitor list, and I'm just scrolling down this is like by the sorting it by popularity, and I'm just scrolling it down. Jiangsu Holy Everlasting Incorporation, Jiangxing Sunlin Electronics, so it is electronic. And now, just to let you know, it is a toy expo. I'm clear about this thing. It is a toy expo, and I am exploring out of these 3,600 exhibitors. If I can find any relevant one, Zhejiang Keda stationery. So if our product is related to stationery, then definitely that can be option, and I'll open and see that as well. But if I scroll down now further, Qingdao Yoshun Industrial. So it looks like something industrial stuff. Robotime Technology, it is technology. Ningbo Guani Toys. Now that's great because that's a toys website, and they always show the website of the exhibitor, and we can click on that to open the exhibitor, basically the website of the exhibitor or the website of the particular supplier. So here is the site of the supplier which we found from the 10 times website. So if I now copy their name, Guan Yi Toys something, and I put it here and exclude this thing, Guani Toys. Yeah, we got the website here, but the plan is, or the intent is to see if this supplier is available on Alibaba. It's Woolworth, Zoom Info, FOB Shanghai, MMP Living, Sourcing, Amazon dot SG, and the name is Guani Toddler Toys Trip. So this particular supplier is not available on Alibaba, and that's how you can find a couple of suppliers which are not available on Alibaba. Now, it doesn't mean that if you found a supplier which is in the exhibition and which is not available on Alibaba, that's a gold supplier. You need to do all the validation. You need to search on their website what is their age, and like you need to do the LC kind of method for the payment and shipment and such kind of stuff. Or you may need to involve any trusted freight forwarder or your agent. You may need to hire any trusted agent in China to proceed further with that supplier. That can bring a couple of its own challenges along with this, if you are not used to dealing with the suppliers outside Alibaba. But if you do have an experience, or if you do have that expertise, or if you do have any trusted freight forwarder or colleague, then definitely they can do all the legwork for you guys, and they can definitely make things easy. So the other website which we have found from these events is this 666 toys. Now, usually, when the Chinese make some websites for the non-Chinese clients, because Chinese do also create their websites because they also want to be found by international clients, and they also spend on the SEO of their product or their website, basically, so they can get contacts or queries from international customers. And one of the major identification point of Chinese suppliers is they always use numbers in their website name. That's why the Chinese version of Alibaba is 1688. Now 1688 is kind of in the form of number. And then again, you can also see this 666 toys. That kind of shows up that the Chinese has opened up some website for their international clients, or even in the China. I believe that is common for them. If the kind of language is not Mandarin, or the language is non-Chinese, basically. So you can see the supplier Ziwon Science, and if I go to their contact details, it's Shantu using science and education toy industry. So it looks like something big. It looks something not a simple trader, but a big company. And you can see their address: Shanghai district of Guangdong, city of Shantu, and industrial zone along with the street. So it looks like a legit thing. So what I did to cater this, this is same. What I did to cater this was I opened the Google Map, and I mentioned their name in the search bar: Shanto using science, education, toys, and industries. And you can test it out yourself as well. If you have an address of maybe an office in the floor, or maybe a floor of a building, then the Google Earth won't be able to specifically show you the building. And if Google Earth is showing you the building, that it means then definitely it means that it has some giant presence, or it has some dedicated place or dedicated building. The factory has some dedicated building. So I searched this on Google Earth, and it was showing this thing. And here is the 2D image of the building from Google Earth. You can also use this method to verify the supplier or the manufacturer, and that's what I did basically. And that's how I mean, this is some example. I've just spent around 4 or 5 minutes on this thing, and I found a website of a supplier which seems to have a dedicated factory which is specific to the toys, and it has a good building. I can see that from the Google Earth perspective as well. I can see their website, and it shows me that this supplier is one of those serious suppliers which do not have that overpriced stuff like the traders on Alibaba. And you can find some really good quality and good price by sitting remotely, just by applying this method here. So this is another website I showed you while we were scrolling through the 10 times, while we were basically the exhibition, the toys exhibition page on the 10 times website. So it shows you, this is the building, Kaida, and I've just opened it to show you how does a real supplier looks like. So you can see the building picture of this supplier. This is their dedicated manufacturing unit, and yeah, it is specific to the stationery, but you can find such similar suppliers for the toys niche as well. And here is the you can see their factory and then their certifications. It kind of also gives you some trust factor and reliability and authenticity of the supplier. This is, let me get it back again, ISO and BSCI and SEDEX and SMETA and CTRAT. So all these certifications give you the reliability, and these are the product lines, and this is kind of a website for dedicated supplier. And there is highlight this picture, what I was also trying to convey to you in the first image, that even on the Alibaba website, if the supplier is genuine, you are going to find such kind of picture in the picture section which we were going through. Now it shows that this is not a trader because they have their stationery name mentioned in their company name. So it means the company is dedicated to stationery products, at the first thing. And the second thing is the image which is showing their big name on the bill, on the board, on the front picture, and here on the wall as well. It shows you that this supplier is genuine one. And all those issues which we face on Alibaba, that let's say Alibaba is very overpricey, you can find a product in maybe $6 7. If you are getting the rate of $10 on Alibaba from the actual supplier, so these are kind of things. This is the way by which you can find the supplier remotely, and it is not very common yet, and very few people are using this methodology. And it can help you out to figure out some great suppliers for your product, to have some exclusivity in this perspective as well. So the second approach, the second method for under the same heading, which is basically finding supplier through events, is the Canton Fair. You all know about Canton Fair, but I'm not sure if any of you have ever explored the exhibitor option on the Canton Fair. So here it is basically, you need to go to the website cantonfair.org.cn. It may show you all the website in the Chinese version, but here it has that this option en. If you click that, it will convert the language into English. And here I have simply select the filter as product, and I have simply mentioned the stress ball, and it has 283 products and 24 exhibitors. I am more interested into the exhibitor part, and the intent is only to find some great suppliers. So if I scroll through all this list of exhibitors, I can find a couple of good ones. I have figured these out for you. So here is this Shanghai Orlando Toys Company Limited. So it shows us that this company is dedicated to toys. And see the address here, Orland Tower number 151950. So it shows you some that the company has some big presence. I mean, there is a dedicated tower in the name of the company. Now it can be possible that this company has different verticals and it is into different industries, but it still shows the level of specialization, commitment, or it kind of shows this perspective that this company has a giant presence and has a good company structure, and you can kind of rely on this company. Because of this particular address, it's giving me all the insights and highlights. And you can see their product range. These are the toys, animals, and the baby classic doll, and then the inflatable, then the video games they do have as well. It looks like a giant company. It looks like someone which is doing manufacturing at a mass level, and you can get some great quotation from these suppliers. So if we go, this is an other finding which I found from the Canton Fair website. But here it is trader, because you can see the address here. So what I was trying to tell to you before as well, don't exclude or don't omit the filters like the address and the age and other such kind of filters. If you are the filter criteria, basically if you are searching through these event websites, because it doesn't mean if you are searching a supplier through event, you don't need to make it through any filters which you have made to get the authentic supplier. You need to pass all these suppliers through the filters. So here I have found this one, Yangzhou Creative Toys and Gift Company, but I am omitting it or I am excluding it from my list of suppliers because the address shows the room number. So the second option is to find the supplier via Jungle Scout. In my opinion, Jungle Scout has a great supplier database, and it's very useful, very handy, very insightful, and it sometimes give you some great insights about the product, about the suppliers your competitors are using, and it's very shortcut way and very quick to use way. So here is what we need to do here. We need to go to the supplier and then the supplier database, and here you need to source, you need to go to this filter of company. Now we need to find the company name, company of our competitor. What you can do here is, let's say here is one of our competitors, Serenelite. I need to click on this option here, sold by Serenelite. And as by Amazon's new policy, every supplier, before it was different thing, we used to search the brand name on Google and we used to figure out the trademark, and then we used to find who's the owner of the trademark, and then we used to put that name as the owner company name. But here now Amazon has made it very simple. When you click on the brand name, here are the detailed seller information, and here is the business name, and here is the business address. What you need to do is you simply need to copy this, get Serene LLC, and you need to put that in the Jungle Scout, because we don't want our supplier for squishy ball. If you are looking for this grip strengthening stress ball, like in the example of Serenelite, and we don't want to find the supplier of maybe Serenelite if we are looking for supplier of the Poppet fidget toy, or the Poppet and the stress ball combination toy which we saw was being sold on Amazon. So it's very important that we put up the relevant competitors company name here so we can find the relevant suppliers. Let me paste it and put the option of search. Okay, so it is showing some results here. The top suppliers are Shenzhen, Huali, Liasheng Toys, and yeah, Shenzhen, Huali, Liasheng Toys, some gift promotion. So these are the suppliers which are selling their product to the Selenium Light brand. And here is an other thing, or maybe another company. So it has different suppliers: Al Arabia company, Al Badali. It looks like some factory in the Gulf side. I'm not sure, and it looks like the seed oil seeds, the essential oils, the perfumes. So it's not the relevant one. And here is our target company, because the imported products are toys, games, and sporting goods, and it is what our competitor is doing. So if I open this supplier here, here is this supplier of the competitor, Serenelite, Huali, Huayi Liangsheng Toys Limited. You can see the name of the company. It has the name Toys. It is the age is around 14 years, which is still a good time. And then you can see the supplier index and all the other stuff, and you can see their main products as well, which is toy, water fun toys, jiggling balls, so stress balls, particularly gel stress balls, which is an important KPI, and then toys balls. And if I scroll down further and see their name, this is the main product, so it also resonates with what we are looking for: gel stress ball, toys ball basically. And then the factory region 2-3 F83. So it's not an apartment in a building, but it's a dedicated place. This supplier kind of also qualifies those major criteria, additional criteria points, I would say, which we were looking for. By this method you can easily it works in some cases and it doesn't work in others. So you need to learn all these methods, and sometimes even maybe the trade show or the event approach won't work. Sometimes maybe the jungle scout approach does not work. Sometimes it can be that the other Panjiva approach, which we are going to discuss at the last approach, sometimes it can happen that that approach does not work. So you need to learn all these, and there's a very high likely chance that you are going to find some unique suppliers with this approach of hunting suppliers. So having said this, let's jump on to the last option of hunting supplier, which is through Penjiva. Now the Panjiva subscription cost is around 350 or $400 per month, and I won't suggest you to go for its paid subscription. Yeah, I do suggest to go for paid subscription of Jungle Scout whenever you are trying to find the details of the supplier, because I use majorly Jungle Scout for this option only, not for other stuff, because Helium 10 is kind of sufficient for other stuff. And for Panjiva, I simply use Google search to figure out the supplier details through Panjiva. What we need to do here is basically we need to put here the details of the company. Here it is, and then we can put site column, and then Panjiva.com. So it will show us all the result. It's going to specifically scrap the Panjiva website and figure out any detail regarding GetScreen LLC. So if I put it down here, it's showing me this stuff, GetScreen as the first option. It's possible that sometime you won't find any detail on Panjiva as well. So it's showing us that top countries regions that supply GetScreen is China, Taiwan, basically it's same. And here along with Shenji, Huali, Liansheng, it is being confirmed by Jungle Scout and then by Panjiva as well. So it is a kind of confirmed supplier. But then for there are some other products for the Getserine company, which are flex bar and meditation cushion, and those things are being delivered by this Ningbo Import Export. So this is a trader and all Win-Win Corp. So we can find such details of the supplier name on Panjiva. And if I go to the bill of lading, that also has some useful information. For example, the shipper name is Ningbo Beji. So if I check it out here again, Ningbo Beji is also supplied for meditation cushion. And then when I clicked on the bill of lading for stress ball, it also shows the Ningbo Beji. So looks like this is the trader which is being used by our competitor. Here is the shipper address, the detail address of their manufacturer, and then the consignee address here. Notify party address. I guess this is going to be the address for for the 3PL, maybe the 3PL warehouse. And this is the weight of total inventory of the total consignment. The unit was in kg, and the quantity, and then the quantity, like there were around 99 cartons. And then there is another detail, the port was of Los Angeles. So you can always check out these details, and these can be helpful in maybe one or other perspective to you as well. Another important factor is the HTS code. So sometimes you do want to check out that the HS code or the HTS code your freight forwarder has selected, is it similar to what your competitors are using, or you would like to do the comparison. Maybe your HS code have some discount on the duties, or maybe your competitors, the HS code your competitor is using, maybe that has some plus point. So you need to compare that as well. So these are the four methods. These are the four approaches. These are the basically four different sources other than Alibaba and 1688, which you guys can use to find out the suppliers. This is all for this video, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, goodbye.